Maybe we can try meeting up by 7. You'll be saying over, so it's guaranteed. I'll be forever thinking about you and me. I don't wanna let you go, I don't wanna let you go. Nah. Tell me what you want to know. Run your fingers down me slow, 'cause you're in my head. You are, 'cause you're in my head. 'Cause you're in my what you think? What you think? 'Cause you're in my what you think? What you think? 'Cause you're in my you love that I've been craving. Let me in now, don't be shy. We can be a summer story with dreams and reality collide. Are we back to the start? I can play the game, but I'm falling again. No, don't hold back, take it far. Promise you the same, let the pleasure begin. How about you coming closer? We can do my place. Maybe we can try meeting up by 7. You'll be saying over, so it's guaranteed. I'll be forever thinking about you and me. I don't wanna let you go, I don't wanna let you go.
Hello. Hello, we're starting in a few minutes, so we're going to start until like some viewers join, and then we're going to start right away.
'Cause you're in my I don't wanna let you go, I don't wanna let you go. Tell me what you want to know. Run your fingers down me slow, 'cause you're in my head. You are, 'cause you're in my head. 'Cause you're in my head. What you think? What you think? 'Cause you're in my what you think?
Feel free to comment and introduce yourself. Tell us where you joining from, for example.
Your fingers on me slow, 'cause you're in my head. You are, 'cause you're in my head. 'Cause you're in my
Deep in the dark, down on my knees, I've seen things that you wouldn't believe. I was lost until I found that I'm invincible. Nobody gon' bring me down. Here we go.
Hello, Dave. And hello, Alfonso. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here too. We can also ask for your takes about best practices and what's the current situation on the tech industry. So actually, we can even invite some people. So, well, tell me if you want to participate later, so I can send you a link. Hi, Georgie. Hi, Olga. All right. Cool. Okay, so I think that we're going to start already, and if someone joins later, then they can like go back into the stream. So first, I will like to make a little bit of introduction. So this is like what would be more similar to the meetups that we were doing before, but now with the almost remote. Hi, Tomas. With the remote environment, I think that it's good also to share the word and to get to more audience around the world, as like, for example, some of our students as well are from around the world. Just introducing a little bit arol.dev. We are a software engineering academy based in quality. So we are Okay, wait a second. You have to bear with me because I'm not an expert on this thing on streaming. So I'm going to have like some problems around the way. I have like someone here like helping me. So what we're doing right now is like a series of different stuff, different like sessions that we're doing, seeing like the initiatives from this academy that we have. And on Tuesdays we're offering like support sessions for the applicants of the Software Engineering Academy. And on Thursdays we are launching these Thursday theories sessions, in which we're talking about different aspects of the industry, more generic like today, or even more specialized like other days. So if you have any kind of suggestions on technologies that you want to check out and that we can help you like getting introduced to them, just tell us, and then you can write them in the comments. And then, of course, we're going to work on that. And the most interesting ones, we're going to try to promote them. I see a comment by Dave. Yes, we are going to, like, this is, actually, this is live in YouTube. So, and actually, we are in LinkedIn too, and we're in Twitch. So, whenever you want to recheck it, or if you want to see it later, you can come to the video. And yes, that's going to be available, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay, yeah, they are confirming me, and also we're sending you an email. So come on, it's like full technology. Great. So today, what I'm going to talk about is about the current situation of the software development industry, a little bit of generics as well, and then we're going to go on tech and on what are my as from my experience and always like my personal opinion. What are the current trends in the software development, and most specialized into web development? And I can see like great talent here already in this session and in the comment section. So please also share whatever you'd like to share, and I would love to hear what's your opinion on them. Okay, so as said, this is going to be quite generic, and And if you want to go deeper in any of the technologies, just say that. And we're not today, but we're going to prepare it for other days. Okay. So hi, Xavi. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to start with the topic that is one of the concerning the most, which in this case, I'm going to remove the music completely. So that is the job market. Okay. So the job market. Now I think I'm going to set it a little bit. It's fine. So that is the job market. Okay, this is the one that worries the most, all the people that I talk to, and of course. But to understand the current position of the job market, and then my take on that, my opinion on the job market. First, we have to know where we're coming from, and in this case, where are we coming from? I think we don't have to go back more than the pandemic boom, in which like one day from another, we are all like the entire world stops and all the industries stop, right? We all live that. But then there's one industry that not only stops, but actually it gets like a lot way more users because it's accessed online, which is like our industry, the software development industry, right? So that takes like a lot of companies having like way more users than they expected, and seeing like all our like virtual products as the solution to many of the stuff. Plus, we were prepared as engineering teams. We were prepared already, like somehow to the pandemic, to the remote scenario, and we even like perform the same way or even better. And then that pushes all the companies into this like growing rush. Okay, plus the industry is quite oriented into growing. So given that opportunity, I mean, I've seen like even in I'm not going to say the name of the company because I don't remember and I don't have proof. Okay, but I remember going into LinkedIn and see a banner there about that some company that starts with S and ends with IFI, which you can. I'm not saying the name because actually there are like some that start like this and end like that. Hi Ivan. They even like put a banner in there that was like, in this 2023 we're going to grow 400%. Okay, between 2022 and 2020. No, sorry, 2021 and 2022. Okay, 400%. Okay, that was the gold rush of growing for companies. Okay, but now with the economic instability, all the uncertainty that we are facing, plus the reality check that is like the pandemic is over and people go back to the street. That's like a reality check that then later we have seen, and then we are going to continue seeing, like all these series of layoffs that we're seeing on the tech industry, which are like affecting like more like the big companies. That's true that I have seen that in some like scale ups, of course, and even some startups, but that's not like the norm in all the companies. Okay, so that's actually part of the ones that grew the most out of like these years. So that means, and that goes my take, is that the crazy growth stops. It's what it means. Okay, nice to see you too, Pierre. So it just means that we're going to stop growing like crazy, right? That's it. So I remember like being in a company and actually like our team being like always part of like the recruitment process, like constantly. And I suppose that this is going to stop being like that. But that doesn't mean that the open positions for tech are going to stop or are going to decrease. Actually, they still are as healthy as it was before. Okay, the healthy part. I mean, not the unhealthy part, not the unhealthy growth, but the healthy part is going to keep being as it is. Okay, the one of the things that I would I think that helps us understand better is that understanding that one of the most impacted sector is the recruiting. Okay, so I've seen like from first level source, that I have seen like some colleagues like from recruiting that they were like the ones that are like receiving contracts the most and not needing that part. Why? Because that crazy growth and these strategies on getting as much talent as possible, the sooner the better, they're going to stop. But that doesn't mean that we are going to stop hiring, because still the way all the predictions on growth, and I missed to add one picture that I have from the US Bureau of Data of Analytics, is that still the growth expectation in this sector is going to be stalling, and specifically in software developers is going to be 25%. Versus the 5% of the rest of the industries. Okay, and that's not going to change. Plus, then there are other factors as AI and all this kind of stuff that we're going to talk in a minute. Okay, but the projections are still not going to change. Let me know what you think. But I think that our industry is still quite healthy. Well, wait a second, because I'm going to show you this thing. So I'm proud of giving you my like in my first stream, my first meme. That is me reacting to a video of a guy reacting of the prime time, reacting to Theo. Okay, so that's a triple reaction. So now I wanted to share you this thing because I think it's quite interesting. So Theo in this video is talking about how the hiring in the industry is transforming and how it's going to look in 2023, and then Prime reacts on it. I suggest you to check the reaction from Prime, because it's like two voices in there, which I think Theo is quite, let's say, not very optimistic, let's say, while Prime is a little bit more optimistic than that. Basically, what, I don't know, well, you cannot see my cursor, but what you can see the green bar, okay? What Theo is saying here is that the bar above is how the recruitment process, like the recruitment status was in 2022, in 2021, 2022. And that the green part it was like the recruiting part of the process. The red one is the referrals, and the blue one is the team transfers. Okay, and what Theo is the one above. Okay, so what is defending is that that shrinked. Okay, and the total job offers like shrink but by that far, and that basically shrink more from the recruiting part, favoring the team transfers and the referrals. Okay, and as the prime time, I agree on the direction, but not on the absolutes. Okay, on how much it decreased or whatever, because basically Theo gives some percents in there and nobody knows. Nobody actually knows what the percent. But what I think is that team transfers are actually too high here. I've been in the industry and team transfers were not that big. Okay, so the referrals, that's true that take like a big part, but then I will be more optimistic about the recruiting, the cold recruiting. Okay, I'd say. Okay, so that means also that being aware of this thing, we can also react and adapt, which is the important word, adapt, into what's the new way to approach searching for a job. And that means that we can give it a third on what is getting, or 50-50 on what is like getting in team transfers or referrals, well, not team transfers. So it's like 50% on referrals, 50% on cold recruiting. Okay, that means that maybe we should move more towards create meaningful connections with the industry, more than just applying for jobs. That is still, you have to apply for jobs, of course. Okay, but then what I think is that the recruiting jobs are not going to pass that much through that recruiter, okay, that call like first attempt, but that's going to be more opinionated and more educated first touch with someone that maybe knows a little bit more about the technical world than before. Okay, so that's my take on how like this is going to move in the maybe like this year, a couple of years, until we don't have more certainty on the market. So next, I'm going to move to the way we work and the big question now, no, if remote or not. And I know that like you have like your own experiences and with your company, and I see like some familiar faces that even I talk with. About the fact, but in here, what I think is that we all went to the full remote, right, because of the pandemic, and then some companies started like calling back their employees, but now we're focusing more on the software developers. On the software developers, yes, they started calling them back into the offices, but usually that was like a forced battle. We're going to see. How it ends, but what I see, what I envision, and hence why we transform the way we educate our students with all the activities that we have and everything, is that we are going to end up having like a hybrid version. So there are some people that are going to be in the office, even preferable to be in the office, because there has been like many. I'm not going to talk to call it psychological problems, but mild psychological problems about being at home and working from home. And I know like a lot of people that want to come back to the office, and that's going to be more towards hybrid teams, in which, and this is why we are transforming also this thing here in our program into a remote first environment. So it doesn't matter if you have an office or not. It doesn't matter if I give you like the possibility to be with part of the team in a co-working or not. We always should accept that our team can be fully remote, and all the activities, all the meetings, all the communication should happen through a remote first or a remote inclusive environment, like such as Slack, of course, chat, Discord, and calls, and meetings that are calls first. Okay, so sorry about if this is being too boring for now. We are stepping out from the generics now, and we're going to go to tech in general. And this wouldn't be like a video in which someone is giving like their opinions in tech if I was not going to talk about Web3, metaverse, and AI. Okay, so let's get this out of the way as soon as possible. Okay, and then let's go for the things that interest us about web development and with front end and back end later. Okay, but still, if I add them here because I think that I can give like some meaningful also takes that I think that can be useful, and one of the most useful like resources that I get from when talking about these kind of technologies or these like level of technologies that are receiving that much hype is the hype cycle of Gartner, which has been always very helpful to explain what are the cycles of interest of the different technologies. Like, and hi Elias. So in here I highlighted like what are the Web3 and decentralized identity and NFT. So while these NFT and decentralized identity are also like part of the Web3, and you can see that they are at the peak of inflated expectations. Okay, and even NFT and decentralized, they are like already facing these the fun part of the roller coaster, right? And indeed, they're like the current situation of the market and also on the crypto market has like advanced things, like has accelerated things for the NFT, which actually I think that NFT is a great idea, is a good technology, but we need like to look a little bit more to it, not to focus it into just monkeys and I don't know, like corgis or things that were released in there, like something that I look forward for it to go through the disillusionment, in which we're going to see like the actual value and the real use cases are going to perdure, like in Web3, and we're going to see like the real startups and the meaningful ones, like taking full advantage or creating great technologies. In our case, for example, we're going to write more about it, but in our software engineering program, like taking just as some bootcamps, the bootcamps stopped giving like any kind of certificate of completion or graduation certificate. We also were going to do that as a software engineering economy and as an alternative to university. But then we had this idea on giving this certificate on NFT, which seems stupid at first. But when you understand that it's not visual, it's just data that lives in the decentralized network, in this case Polygon. You can see the value out of there. And what we're planning to do is to use it as like the authentication token, as the authentication part of the entire community. Okay, so the community that we're going to create in there, having that NFT, it's going to grant you access to the parts that are like part of our community, it can be the Discord, or it can be like the lifetime learning platform that we want to offer. and things like that. No, so we're going to see these kind of real use cases that I'm very excited to see through the. I think that is in clear blue, so that's going to be 2 to 5 years. Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting, and the Web3 as well. And well, you can see also the metaverse. It's even that's strange for me. It's like it's climbing up through on the innovation trigger, which I think that right now we're kind of with a lot of inflated expectations. But that's my take. But I don't know. I think that that's going to be interesting, but in 10 years, okay, 5 to 10 years. So I think that we should give it some air already. If you're more interested, of course not. I invite you to join startups or to even contribute into the open source of these technologies. I think they are going to be great technologies. But then, of course, we have to talk about AI. It's a big thing in these 2 days. Actually, two things happened in 2 days. GPT-4 was released, not only announced, but beta released. And also today or yesterday, I remember, 2 days ago, and then yesterday, there was another release on important AI. I'm going to tell you in a minute. So GPT-4, let's take a look at this graphic, which is actually quite amazing. These are like the different exams for accessing to the, I don't remember what are the characters stand for, AP. There are exams to access to the different regulated professions. Like it can be a lawyer, it can be a doctor, it can be like there's like in here microeconomics. I don't know, for all these different exams. Look at the blue bars are GPT-3, 3.5 actually. That's ChatGPT when ChatGPT was released. Take a look at the GPT-4 with vision for the dark green one. Like we have like a lot, even like maybe 50% of these like access exams are over or just touching the 80 percentile. So GPT-4 is already able to take these exams that people are studying for years. Okay, so I think that these are like great advancements, but also I wanted to show you another graphic. Some numbers, in this case from our friends from Programming India in Reddit, which are showing us our the performance of GPT-4 on the different lead code exercises. With the easy ones, it's taking over like most of them. But you can see how in the medium and hard ones, it's taking quite a bad score. Okay, so as they say, jobs are safe until GPT-5. At least we have that time. Well, I have already a talk about AI and what I think, how it's going to affect our industry. But long story short, I don't think that that's going to take over our jobs. Actually, AI is just going to catapult our performance, and it's going to make it for us faster to digitalize the world. That is the thing that it's our responsibility to do. And just to remind that we are talking about GPT-4, but GitHub Copilot, that I don't know if you're using this or another one, AI Copilot for coding, it's based on GPT. And now it's going to, I'm looking forward to see when it's integrated, GPT-4 is integrated into Copilot. I don't know if it has been yet. I haven't tried. I haven't read anything about it. I don't know what are the plans, but I'm looking forward to it because that's going to be actually very, very exciting. So what I was talking about, another announcement that we had recently is Midjourney. I don't think this is not that much on our part of the industry, but I saw the summary video this midday, some hours ago, and I was very impressed. And this picture, for example, gives you a comparison between what was the normal, the average picture created by Midjourney version 4 and the newly released. Is it's like it seems absolutely real. It seems like a top photography. So I was really like the same thing that we have with like the first impressions, a little bit scared at first. Okay. So that's it of general technology. Let's step into web development. So into the web development first, before splitting things into front end and back end, and just full disclaimer, I run, like, I'm quite a polyglot actually, I see Ivan here in the audience. So I started, for example, professionally with PHP, with Ivan in this case. Then I moved to Ruby on Rails, and I moved to mobile development with native Objective-C, and then many languages. Okay, and always programming on JavaScript until recently. Then I took it as the main language that I program. So meaning that I'm quite polyglot, but I'm also quite opinionated. I run an academy that is based fully on JavaScript. By the way, not because of it's the best language in the world. I always say that if there's such a thing like that. Okay, but it's very convenient for someone that is like going as fast as we go with 3 months to go for front end and back end with 2 languages. I think that we should strive to be expert in one language. So JavaScript is one that gets us like to the both fronts, no, back end and front end, to see what actually matters, which are the system designs, which are the development patterns, and all the things that are like really what makes us a software engineers and not just programmers. So the first thing that I want to say, maybe it's quite obvious for some, but not that much for others, is that TypeScript is very, very strong. And it's noticeable now that when you go TypeScript, you never go back. So the community is just growing. All the applications are being migrated. As a developer that has come from JavaScript, and I'm an expert in JavaScript, and I know the ugly parts of JavaScript. And after you transform your way of working with TypeScript, there's no discussion. But not only for that, because also there's like some interesting things happening on this front, which is having end-to-end types, and not only having a typed language or a set of types in the front end, or having like a set of types or the same amount of like set of types in the back end. But now, thanks to, and I didn't put the name here, TRPC. Okay, we have like very interesting technology that we actually played with here in the academy recently. We have a very interesting technology in which you can set like the types for your single types for one thing, and then you can communicate and you can consume like an API, in this case RPC API with methods that is fully typed, and that then the interaction that you have from the front end when implementing the consumption of that API, it's type saved. So that means that for me, that's the great value of type languages. The debug time has been reduced tremendously. So I invite you to try it, not to keep away of the forget about your REST APIs or your GraphQL APIs. That responds more to a functional requirement. RPC is very special for some specific type of communication between applications. But I invite you to take a look, because I think that is some like quite the future in terms of developer experience, and it's going to be very, very interesting experience for you. So let's go for front-end development. And for that, I want to invite you to check what the results on the, I will forget about the name now. The state of JS, I think it's called state of JS. So the state of JS, the survey, the 2022 results have been released, and then we have like, that, by the way, the kudos to the report, because the visualizations that they are there are one of the like best ones that I've seen in something like that. Okay, so I don't know if I can share the link somewhere, but it just like go for searching like state of JS on internet, and then you're going to see it. And this graphic is actually like a cross axis that on the horizontal axis you have, I'm not going to see it. I think it's kind of popularity. So it's like popularity, but in sense of if you like it or you hate it. And the vertical axis is have used or not have not used. Okay, so you can see how React and did a hell of a trip. You cannot see the entire trip, but actually it's coming like a little bit from the right. That means like it's becoming less loved. Okay, but actually is even increasing in popularity, which for me it's very impressive, because the let's accept it. Like our industry is quite hype oriented. And then we are always going to the new technology, and we're seeing it now in React. Yeah, it's like some people are trying to step out from React because it's like, it's not a new framework, and there are like 100 frameworks that were released this week. So in favor, for example, of Svelte or Quick now, or Solid, no, that are like these Astro, like Astro, sorry, is React still, no? Well, anyway, so React is actually, as well as TypeScript, I'm impressed by how strong the usage of React is, and we're not stopping. And actually, I bring like some news actually that are like, for example, CView. It's like Vue has like reduced a little bit. I don't know if you see it. This is my cursor? No. Okay, I'm going to solve that for the next stream because I need to show you. It's in the middle part of the right. Vue.js is like getting like a little bit of like less rotation by the time. So I'm impressed by React. So I'm going to show you like a couple of examples, and this is one news. Okay, you're not seeing half of it. Come on. Let me resize this thing, and I think that you're going to see it better. No. Yes. Okay, great. You see it now. So here are like some news that were quite impressive. That it was Shopify acquiring Remix, which is like the competitor, no, the alternative for Next.js, which is very interesting. Because now that means that on the Shopify front, let's accept it, we have like a lot of market there. We have the possibility, by being a React developer, to take over the creation of the different themes and premium themes, and creating new themes that are based on React, which it's like, for example, the e-commerce industry is an industry that is very relying on SEO, for example. And I've seen like many themes like that scoring very badly in performance, which is one like Web Core Vitals, for example, which is like one of the core parts for getting good SEO result. So now we can get all this talent from React to create all these themes in Shopify now with, I think that this called Hydrogen. Okay, so Remix is getting integrated, or it's, I don't know the details, okay? But it's getting integrated to work along with Hydrogen. So we can work, which is for implementing themes in React. So we can get that and get like a full stack experience for Shopify with all the knowledge that we have as React developers. So for me, this is one of these are great news, even though I'm a Next.js developer and I'm an expert on Next.js, but not that much on Remix. That's something that I have to take some time to do a couple of tutorials about that, to see the documentation. But great opportunity ahead. I think that that's something that is going to be very fun to work with. And talking about taking tutorials, I think that another one that I would love to take, and I think that this is one of the next big things on the React community, is the TAN stack, anything on the TAN stack. And by the way, I want to share with you that I found out, and just today preparing for this live event, that the TAN stack, well, and specifically the query, React query, has entered into the tech radar of ThoughtWorks. Okay, so they have a tech radar in which they are telling you like what are the technologies to see, to try, and to adopt. And React Query is one of the technologies by that huge, the company from that React Fowler, for example, Martin Fowler is working for. It's going to Martin Fowler is working for sorry for that, is even telling you to adopt. So huge thing there. Like on the CSS front, that's no surprise. Tailwind CSS, it's growing tremendously since on the version 2 they released the just-in-time technique, which is amazingly good. And now with the version 3, it's amazing. I have tried it. I have to say that this is one of the technologies. I suppose that with many of you, like, because I have heard that from a lot of professionals, that Tailwind, when it appeared for the first time, it got like a lot of rejection. And I have to admit that from myself too, I saw that and I was like, wow, this is like very ugly and I'm not going to work with that ever. That's just like another bootstrap UI, etc., etc. And now I don't know if it's because of the updates or just because I've been more open-minded now. I'm absolutely in love with Tailwind CSS, and I even bought it like the Tailwind UI, which is perfect. And I have to say, and for that, I don't know if you are going to ever see this, Chris, but I remember having in the team, and I don't know if Afonso is going to be here, but I remember having from the team someone that was like pushing very hard towards us integrated Tailwind. And I'm sorry, Chris, you were right. I just checked on that, and it's like the experience on working with this is absolutely amazing. Continuing with that, let's talk about a little bit of let's say system design, maybe on the front end part, or more on the infrastructure part on the front end. And with that, we have to say bye-bye. Single page applications, you rocked, you were really cool. You were a hell of an innovation, but that's it. It's time to stop about SPAs. Let me explain. So where are we coming from? jQuery, right? And I bring some memories. I see Xavi now, I see Van. We worked together with jQuery like a lot, and we were like starting using like these Ajax techniques, and instead of moving away from that HTTP pages, no, in which like every link reloaded another page. So now we moved into Ajax, and after Ajax, Backbone, etc., until we got into Angular and React. So we started creating these pages that you only download first time, and then the JavaScript is modifying all the things internally, okay, without doing any kind of reload. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, that it's dead right now. It's because we evolved and we are adopting another. I think that this is like an equal step in progression in advance. That is moving into the edge. Okay, so this is like the I've seen like some like people from the industry calling that Next.js, for example, is not like a front-end framework. It's a back-end framework. So it's for you to create React applications, but it's a back-end framework because it gives you the entire system. And because we are moving towards this SSR by default and server-side rendering by default, right? So only by getting this server-side rendering by default, we're moving towards the full stack front-end applications, okay? And one of the latest additions was by Versal. I think that this is one of the greatest advances that actually for my team at Typeform, that's going to sound familiar. So one of the things that happened in here is that now, aside from you can see the last part that says functions, the last layer in here, which can be your I don't care, it can be your centralized server. It doesn't have to be Lambda functions, but are like your server, the one that is rendering the page that is very slow. Okay, now what we had before already was that the CDNs, the edge network cache, in which we're caching everything around the wall. So we are not trading off, or we are mitigating the amount of time that you get to render that every time on the server. It's getting mitigated by the CDN. Okay, that's already what we had. But for example, in our team at Typeform, we already had some problems with that, related to A/B testing, and we innovated before this was released. We innovated loading more the edge, okay, and loading more decisions into the edge, like it's the case of A/B testing. And now I see now that Vercel, that are the system, the infrastructure of Vercel, which is the creators of Next.js, creating this concept of edge middleware, which is like a computational edge that handles all the redirects, rewrites, headers, A/B testing, and feature flags just before the edge network. So first, you can decide very fast if one user have to see one version of the page or another one, then move to the CDN and the network cache. So it's the one deciding, if given these versions that you have to see or the feature flags, then you're going to, if I have cached it or not, and if I have cached it, I give it to you before bothering the server. And if I don't have it, then I go and render the entire stuff. Okay, so for me, this, I already saw 2 years ago that was a huge need, and I'm very happy to see that I was not that mistaken, and that even Vercel is going fast. They're very fast into releasing tools like this. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to have so much fun in the next year with this. All right, so moving out from the development part and going to the builders, just a quick notice that I just realized that after I didn't use this for years. Like, for example, create React app when creating a new application. But now when I came back to create a lot of applications, I was using Create React App, and I felt very old when my colleagues now said, "What are you doing with the Create React App? That's just like the tutorial one, no?" And then for that, you have other options that create React application. I tried Vite, which is the logo on the left. And I invite you to take over it because it's genius. It's really easy to work with and to manipulate. So it's very good. And also on the right, we are waiting, very excited for the arrival of TurboPack, which is like a little bit of mix between the team of Next.js and Webpack, but all built in Rust that we're going to talk about. And they promise that they is going to be very, very, very fast, whatever that Vercel does. I'm a huge fan of it. So I'm looking forward, stay tuned, because most likely we're going to do one of these 30 theories. We're going to do one specialized about TurboPack and how to use it. Okay, let's move to the backend. And big disclaimer, I don't have that much because I am not I'm a full stack developer. I'm a full stack developer, but more oriented into the front end stuff or the big picture, more than specialized. So in here, my team asked me, please, you cannot make something. We're going to be ashamed of being part of your team if you're not talking about Go. And although the Stack Overflow developer survey doesn't give that much numbers to Go, but that's true. That I've heard many good things. So that's one of the things that for sure I'm going to be looking at. But also, let's talk about Rust, because one of the recent additions is that it's part of the Linux kernel. So that's a huge honor for the language, and I think that that's going to be very I don't know, that makes it very, very, very interesting. So sorry for that. I'm not going to go that in depth in backend development. So instead, I'm going to go back to what I know, which is JavaScript. And I wanted to also, that's a petition from the team, and actually I've been like investigating a little bit, and I was pretty impressed about this. This is not new. It's from 2017. But it's Nest, which is very similar to Next, but it's Nest. Nest is a backend framework for JavaScript, and it seems like it's quite nice for what I have seen. But the cool thing about that is that I'm going to talk about it in the best practices part. That what we are recommending it for is like, if you want to, it's one of the great things to learn backend development, because through the opinions that the framework has, is guiding you through all the best practices that you can do while implementing a backend application. And for that, I wanted to look. This is what I was talking about. Is like ThoughtWorks has this technology radar in which you can, you cannot see anything. I'm sorry for that. But one of these red, like you have techniques, tools, infrastructure, I think, and technologies. And in the technologies, which is the red, one of these 6 dots that we have in here is Nest.js, which I was pretty impressed to see. Also, aside from, what is the thing that I said before? Don't remember. I'm very impressed to see Nest.js going there. So, I talk a lot, that's it. I'm finishing. I promise I'm finishing. So here, for the best practices, I'm going to go for some opinions over the technologies that I've been talking about on just 3 takes. Okay, first, coming back to the convention over configuration that talks about like using frameworks that are already like following like all these conventions that are guiding you through how to be like a better software engineer and a better like front-end programmer, a better back-end programmer. And for that, I remember like personally, for example, I was developing in PHP, for example, and it was just the sole fact of going into Ruby on Rails and going into the documentation, reading the documentation, going to the forums and going into all this community, which made me grow tremendously as a backend developer. Because or as a full stack in this case, because it was I don't know, telling you, I was amazed by seeing like how an active record was created. So in here, something that can, if you're a JavaScript developer, I can like invite you to try things like Next.js if you haven't, or take a look at Nest.js. I think that is a very interesting approach. Also, of course, on testing and automation, like we have to, that said, you cannot go into any kind of job interview about being a developer that you are, when you're not confident in testing. You have to work in testing. Okay, you have to make it part of your process. And it's cool because it's not the complicated thing that it was before. We have like a lot of knowledge and we have like a lot of tools, like for example, Jest. On the state of JS graphic that I told you before, Jest, it's like a meteor. Okay, it's like very, like it has made very happy to a lot of us. Okay, so you even have fun like testing with Jest. So there's absolutely no excuse. And something that I haven't tried yet, but I'm really like, because of I've seen how cool it is to work with Byte.js, it's Bytest, which are from the creators of Byte.js, which is like a technology that people seem very happy with, although like the usage still is not I don't know if you are hearing for, this sounds. I hope not, because if not, let me quit some stuff. Okay, last one. No, up to 2. For best practices, DevOps overreach. Okay, you have to take ownership on the things that are not your own. Okay, like we are software developers and we usually despise anything that is related, like some of us despise anything that is related to DevOps and system administration or anything like that. Okay, just because it's difficult, I know. Okay, so in here, I would say we have, depending on the company that you have people that are like system administrators, okay? But that doesn't mean that they have to take over like everything that you need to do. You have to be independent. You have to be a team. You have to be interdependent, okay? And you have to need for them to prepare or to optimize some of the things that you don't know about or they can guide you with. But we have to take over, like for example, you are a front-end developer, yes? You are, very far away from the systems that serve these front end. So I think that this kind of mindset has to stop. Okay, you are full responsible of the whole stack that is serving your application. Yeah, and maybe you're not an expert, but you work with experts, but you take ownership. And now it's very easy to do thanks to the all these technologies called of the part of form part of the infrastructure as code, like it's CDK from Amazon Web Service or Terraform. I mean, now you can describe how your system has to look like just with code. You press like a command, you run a command, and that already takes ownership of it's automating all the configuration of a different system. There's absolutely no excuse. And I think that this is one of the things that is going to give you like more, or us as developers, like raising the level or gaining points in our next hiring process. Okay. I have some comments. Pierre says, I find ChatGPT very useful to create web app configurations, like for React app, which uses TypeScript. Yes, I mean, totally. I mean, one of the reasons why is I don't know if you have seen some of the demos of GPT-4 now. Sorry, GPT-4, is that it accepts like a lot of input now, like tons of input. And the training of GPT-4 has been passed at 2021. So maybe some new technologies you don't like GPT doesn't have access to. But I have seen like some people making experiments on copying part of documentation, pasting it into the prompt, making that single question, and then ChatGPT improvising on how to get that output quite successfully. So I don't know if that's fully prepared now, but I think that raises like some interesting topics. Like for example, if we as technology creators, we should already like create some kind of very specific documentation so GPT can understand it, and then we can adapt the prompts to whatever we need, no? So I think that, yes, I use it for many technologies that maybe I know, like Webpack, I know, but all the nitty-gritties, all these small things that make it difficult, or CDK itself that I'm talking about, I don't know the entire thing, like all the things about Amazon Web Service. I mean, there are like, how many? Like 200 different services, types of services. I don't know all the nitty-gritties and all the details. So I use it as well to guide me through the process. In the end, AI, it's for now in the midterm, and it's going to continue to be, it's an assistant for us. Okay, so yeah, I think that I use it for this kind of stuff too. Thanks, Roberto. And yeah, I see Afonso, you say, yes, I think that you added this comment when I was talking about the DevOps. If not, maybe it was the previous one. But I suppose that, we have some shared stories about how to overreach as a front-end developer, right? Pretty nice war stories. And the last one that I've been quite I don't know, that I learned like in the last 3 years on my path through as well Typeform and here now like venturing into this new Academy of Us, which is as a software developer. I mean, as any kind of professional, right? But as a software developer, become more data driven. And for that, I mean, I can put you 2 examples. You can be data driven on the hard skills and on the soft skills. On the hard skills, you have to be more data-driven, like getting more data about how your application is behaving, like not only backtrackers, but backtrackers and also like telemetry and performance and all the initiatives that you take and all the changes that you take. You should be able to get always like that result. Because in the end, when you are like, for example, let's go goal-oriented, full goal-oriented. When you're selling yourself in LinkedIn, what is going to matter and what is going to be more powerful, it's not what you did. It's the impact that you had. And it's good to maintain like kind of a diary or about the impact that you are having and your initiatives are having, or not only for hiring, but also for hiring, like for, I'm not applying anywhere, but also to drive our business. Also on the part of, on the engineering part, we also have to be very data driven and not doing things because of yes, but, or because we like it, but because they're beneficial. And on the soft skills as well, is like anything that regards performance, your own performance, and that is like quite related. It's very close to the concept of continuous integration. Like focus on yourself, focus on your results, try to measure them as much as possible, and then see how are the different practices, or even for creating some habits, how these are affecting your productivity or your communication, in order to see how good are you doing and how good are you improving. So that's it. It's all that I had for, let's say, like this news. It hasn't been short, 1 hour. I talk a lot, I talk very fast, but I'm glad that I couldn't make it below the hour. So now I'm going to ask, I'm not going to be much here, like for much time, but if you're seeing this in direct, it's cool, like it live. If you are seeing it like after the recorded version, that's cool. So leave that in the comments and let me know what do you think. And what I was saying before, if you think that you want to see more, if you want our team of instructors to prepare something specific about any of the technologies that we have seen in here or any others, we will consider it. We don't know about everything. We can prepare something, but we don't know about everything. But if we find it interesting, we're going to also record another session. We want to do this almost every Thursday, so we'll see if we can prepare that much content. So thank you very much for coming, for the ones that are live. Makes me very happy to be able to share these crazy ideas with all the people, and that I see that even like some people are like joining, making comments and engaging. Thank you very much for being here. And that's it. See you maybe next Thursday or whenever we announce another one. Please send us anything that you want to see in the future, okay? And we're always going to be here for anything you want to learn about technology and about software development and specialized on web development, okay? Thank you for coming. So bye-bye. See ya.